Alright, so it wasn't that long ago I did a video talking about the filtration device that I'm going to be using this summer. And I've been getting a lot of questions on the Cnoc Outdoors Vector 2-liter water container. And now there's a lot of feedback on this container. There's a lot of questions, and so I'm just going to go over what I think of it, how I plan to use it, and I'm going to try to answer as many of those questions as I can so that you guys can determine if it's worth the money, because they are kind of expensive, and so I want to make sure that you know exactly what you're getting yourself into before you make that purchase. The main selling feature for me coming from the Sawyer Bag, so I started using Sawyer bags. I got the 16 ounce, 32 ounce, and I'm not a fan. And so the big selling point that got me away from the Sawyer bags was this top here. It slides open and you have a very large opening up top, so you're able to scoop up a lot of water. Even in areas where there's a lot of grass and weeds and nasty stuff in the water, that big opening just allows you to scoop it up anyway and filter a lot of water at a time. With the Sawyers, I always found myself trying to fill up that little hole, and it was just annoying, and you never got it very full because you either gave up before it was full or it was just too hard to get it full, where this big opening makes a huge difference. Once you have opened it and you filled it full of water, you close this up, slide it over, and then the way that I've been using it is I then open the bottom, take my Sawyer, screw it on, and then I'm able to squeeze the water into another container. One of the questions that I probably got the most is if you can use this as a gravity system. And yes, you can very easily, actually. You have to buy one of these little blue attachments so you can screw this drinking part off, put this blue thing on here. Now I personally have two of these bags. I have the orange one and the blue one, and so I use the orange one for dirty water only. There's only been dirty water in here. The blue one only has clean water, and so I never have to worry about cross-contaminating or forgetting which is which. Orange looks like dirty water, so I put the dirty water in there. Blue looks like clean water, so I put it in there, and that's how I keep them separate and know which is which. And then you can just again put this on here, and then you have a gravity system, and that goes together extremely well. It works. I plan on using this again this summer. I've never really gravity fed water. I've had the Sawyer Mini, and now I have the Sawyer Squeeze. I've never used the gravity feature of it, really. I've always just squeezed into another container, but it's very easy to do. And what makes it very easy to do is the part that slides off has this loop up top. So I just have some things lying around. This is a little red Carabiner, a UST that I got from Walmart. That fits in there, no problem. I have a number 4 Night Eyes S-Biner. That fits in there, no problem. I have some 550 cord that fits in there, no problem. Also, if you were going to make a Bowline Knot, let me make it real quick and show you. So if you have a Bowline Knot at the end, that knot will fit through there, no problem. Plenty of room to spare. Sometimes that little tag end gets caught, but the knot itself fits in there, no worries. So if you want to cinch it down and run it through that way, you can easily. Again, that tag end catches sometimes, but it fits, right? And so you can hang it with a carabiner, a S-biner, 550 cord, whatever you have on you. I'm sure you can figure out something to get this to fit through there. Another thing is you don't need two. Okay, I suggest getting the orange one, again, for dirty water. And then if you want to get a second one, you can get a blue one and you won't get confused. But you don't need a second one. You can use your Sawyer bag for the clean water. And the reason for that is alongside here, there's measurement markings. So it has 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, and 72 ounces. And so if you have the 16 ounce Sawyer bag, you can fill it to the 16 ounce line. And you don't have to worry about overfilling anything. Same with the 32, you just fill it to the 32. When I was out camping, I was filling up my 32 ounce water bottle. And so I just filled it to the 32 ounce line. And it works really well. So you don't need two. One is enough. And then whatever you're putting, whatever you're filtering water into, even if it's just 8 ounces, if you're just collecting water to cook a mountain house or something, you can just fill it up to that 8 ounce line, squeeze it into your pot, and so you don't need both. I suggest getting the orange one for dirty water just in case you do want to upgrade and get two. The reason I have two is because I just find them a lot more durable, a lot more sturdy than the Sawyer bags, and they also hold a lot more, and they're not much bigger. So let me put the cap back on this orange one and show you. So this is a 2 liter or a 72 ounce bag. This is a 32 ounce bag, so this holds twice as much water, over twice as much water, and they are not much, it's not much bigger. It's pretty close to the same size. The only thing that protrudes out is the sliding mechanism, and it's a little bit wider, but otherwise they're pretty much the same size. And this is only 32 ounces, and this is 72. And so you're getting a lot more water for the same size. This does weigh a little bit more because it is made of more durable materials and there is more heavy plastic on it. But really like this bag. Another feature that I really like that's better than the Sawyers in my opinion is that it's see-through. You can see in here. And so on my last camping trip, there was a lot of grass and weeds and stuff in the water, and I was able to see all of that in here. So I was able to not fill, not pass all that grass and stuff that was floating on the top of my bag. I was able to not pass it through. I was able to see it all as I was cleaning to make sure that I got all the dirt and all the grass and all the nasty stuff that was in this bag. I could see it in there. Where there could be nasty stuff still in here and I wouldn't know because I can't see it. You know what I mean? So I really like that as well. One thing that I do use that I don't think it was intended to be used for is the arch on the top here. What I do is I take when I clean this out, I did this when I was out camping and I did this when I was home. I open this big end here, and you can use one of those scrubbing brushes with a sponge on the end, and you can clean it out. You can run cold and hot water in here and clean it out. And then I use that little arch and I put it in the center, and then I use the cap to hold the threads where it seals. I hold that open, and then because the cap's off it, I have a hole here, and it just allows the air to pass through and dry it out a lot easier. And like I said, I did that out camping and I did it when I got home. It just seems to make sure that everything dries out nice and even and you don't have it touching and staying wet for very long. And again, because it's see-through, you can tell where it's wet, and you can go in there with a paper towel or a rag or whatever you really want to and clean it out or dry it out. Yeah, and I think that's it. I think I answered you guys' questions. Mostly you guys were worried about the gravity feed, and I showed you that with the hole here you're able to put a lot of different things. Here's a figure 9 carabiner. You guys are probably familiar with that. It's kind of egg shaped and it's thick at the loop on the hook, I would call it, I guess. And so it does fit on there, but that fat spot is too wide for it, so it does fit this way, but it doesn't fit standing upright, so it's kind of canted. And so that's something to keep in mind. But like I said, the S-biner and the carabiners and the 550 cord, even with a knot in it, work really well. So with that being said, if you have any other questions, let me know in that comment section. I answer as many as I possibly can. If you're interested in studying this stuff on your own, I'll leave links to everything I mentioned in the comment section or in the description box down below. And I can't wait to see you guys on the next one.